You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.
Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Monday, September 23rd. Like always, I'm your guy, Hector, joined by my compadres this morning. I have the lovely Grace Monroe, and I got the fly guy, Mr. Damien Serrano. All you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. Damien, Grace, how you feeling on today's special episode?
It is special. Listen, I told the guys backstage I'm fanboying right now. You guys will all realize why. But it's a special day for Uptown Sports TV. Everybody tune in, get your coffee, like Hector said. Let's go.
Yes. Grace, how you feeling?
I don't even know how I got here. I'm just a Yankees fan living in Texas. And here I am this morning with an actual legend on and off the field. It's a true honor to be joined this morning by Bernie Williams. You guys are in for an amazing show. Please stay tuned and get blessed because we are about to get into it.
Oh, we definitely are. Shout out to the chat. One of the best chats that's out there on YouTube. Our friend Dev Finch is in the building. Theo Nosebleed section is in the building. Good morning. How you doing? My friend Nathan Ramachandra in the NNR Hour. Nathan, how you doing? Frankie Rivera's in the building. My guy, Future, how you doing? And of course, I got to highlight my girlfriend who has the chat guidelines. No hate speech or bullying will be allowed or tolerated. If you are found violating the terms of services of our guidelines, you will be kicked out from the chat without notice. Basically, we like to be nice to one another, right? We like to be respectful and have great dialogues and conversation. But without further ado, let's bring up the man himself, the legend, Mr. Bernie Williams. Bernie, let me get a thumbs up backstage. Let me know you're ready to rock out. All right, so we got the thumbs up from Bernie. Bernie is ready to go. Good morning, Bernie.
Good morning to you all. How are you doing?
Yes.
Good.
Great
Amazing.
to see you guys. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
No, thank you for taking time out this morning. Obviously, we've been trying to reschedule this. First and foremost, everybody in the chat, we're all fanboying because I grew up a Yankee fan. Damien, Grace as well. Yo soy Boricua también. Bernie, I've met you over the past few years as well. And every time I've met you, you've been amazing. Not only with me as a member of media, but also with the fans, young fans, older fans. It doesn't matter. Bernie Williams, not only is he a Yankee legend, but also being a spokesman for the team and carrying on all the traditions. So I just wanted to give you your flowers for that, Bernie.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, every fan you meet, every person you meet is, for me, it could be my 100,000 experience, but for that person, it's just one in a lifetime could be. So I wanted to make it, the best time possible. That's how you build fans, and that's how the fan base gets built.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So I know we're here because you are and work with Tune Into Lungs. It's an initiative that you started. So I'm gonna play the PSA real quick, and after we're done with the video, you just come back and let the folks know what we're talking about this morning. So I'm just gonna play this, and we will be right back.
I'm Bernie Williams, and I lost my dad to idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. My dad was my hero. Talking about my family's experience with interstitial lung disease and how music helped us cope is very important to me. Is one of the ways I can ensure my dad's legacy lives on. It's why I'm so excited to be part of Tune In to Lung Health. Through this program, you'll find plenty of resources and education, including a series of vocal exercise videos. I'll be joined by vocal coach Eric Vitro. He'll walk us through techniques that he uses with his own celebrity clients. In these videos, you'll meet people affected by interstitial lung disease. They'll share personal stories, as well as participate in breathing and vocal exercises that might help you cope with the mental, physical, and emotional burden of this disease. Please explore all these videos and enjoy. I hope you find them helpful.
And for those out there that do not know, ILD, interstitial lung disease, it affects roughly 50,000 Americans each year. ILD causes irreversible scarring of the lungs, and that can make it difficult when it comes to breathing. So difficult that some patients are left having to carry oxygen tanks for their entire life. But because disease symptoms like shortness of breath, fatigue, and other persistence like dry cough, it shows up different varieties. People may mistake that for fever. People may mistake that for the common cold or for the flu. So a lot of the times the diagnosis it goes undiagnosed. Sometimes diagnosis often takes years because ILD it has no cure and it often worsens over time. Early diagnosis and awareness are crucial. The average life expectancy is about 3 to 5 years. So Bernie, if you want to just speak on that just a little bit more for people who don't know what ILD is.
Yes, I think you said it all. I mean, my connection with ILD, it's a personal connection because my father passed away from ILD, specifically idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis in 2001, and I've been teaming up with Boehringer Ingelheim, for a long time now, trying to raise awareness. One of the things that you said, it is very, very important. My father, in our journey with my father in ILD, it took him about 5 years to get diagnosed with the right diagnosis. Because of that whole process, all the symptoms, could be sort of taken, for other things that are, there are different. So that's why we're trying to encourage people to, if they have some of these symptoms, like a dry cough, persistent dry cough, fatigue, and just changes in their, the physical stamina and endurance, and just to see the doctor so they could be diagnosed. It seems like, the earlier that you get diagnosed, the better chances to improve the quality of your life. And for all these patients, and it's sometimes, we take breathing, for granted. But for patients that have these diseases, every breath is so important. So we're really trying to encourage the community to do that.
Yeah, and it goes without being said, being Puerto Rican, being Latino, sometimes a lot of our ailments, health ailments, we push to the side. We think that, oh, I'll go at it tomorrow. Damien Vicks, give me a little cough drop. I'll be good tomorrow morning. But they have to recognize if you see the symptoms early, get early confirmation. That way you could try to figure out a treatment plan going forward.
Yeah, that is true. Especially my dad, he was one of those old school guys, like, dame un tececito de esto, and it just kind of delayed the process a little bit. And in these circumstances, every minute counts, and it's so important to get diagnosed early.
Yeah, I have one question to ask you when it comes to this, and then I'll toss it over to Grace and Damien. Being that you have such a close connection to ILD, I recently just lost my father over the past month. So it was important for me not only to have this conversation, but also let people know that if you have any health issues that are out there, no matter what it is, don't just sweep it under the rug. So speak to us. How did you and your family deal with your father's early diagnosis, and how was that as well before and after when it comes to the mourning process?
It was challenging. I think, my dad, he was our Superman. He was our, he's the guy that taught me how to play baseball at 8 years old. He taught me how to play guitar, my first couple of chords. And we really looked up to him. He was very outgoing. He was trained with us. He was to run, on the little league field and do all of that. And we started noticing changes in his, physical, stamina and endurance, and feeling a little bit tired and fatigued. And that was kind of like the beginning. We thought it was going to be like pneumonia or a bad cold, like you said, bronchitis and all these asthma and all that. And we're just going from doctor to doctor. And that journey took a long time, 5 years, give or take. And that was, once we knew what he had was, and then the process of getting educated about the disease and trying to face what we were trying to get into, what was going to be the best way to get him the best treatment possible. And just to, be so frustrated and disheartened when just like, well, this is not going to go away. And he'll probably pass, from this. And He was just very frustrated. It impacted the whole family in a very profound way, and it has sort of motivated me to take this opportunity and spend a lot of times, during the course of, the last 7-8 years trying to raise awareness, because I don't want any family to go through what my family went through with my father and I. Like I said, he was the guy that was there for me when I was playing baseball. Even, in my 10th year in the big leagues, he was still giving me tips on how to hit the fastball. Hey, stay out with the high ones. He was just a great positive influence in my life, and all that I am today, I really owe it to him. So it was, this whole process for me has been very therapeutic, and it also to have an opportunity to give back to the community, and something that has been very impactful in my life has been one of a great rewarding process for me as well.
Yeah, we grow up as kids with our parents and our guardians chasing the monsters away and protecting us from a monster. But there comes a time that the roles are reversed, and you're the one protecting your parents or your elders from the monster, or trying to help them as they once helped you when you were a child. Grace, go ahead. I'll kick it over to you so you could go ahead and ask your question, and then throw it up to Damien.
Bernie, I'm sorry about the loss of your father. I wanted to say that all of the work that you've done for this disease that he suffered from and ultimately your family was so affected by is such a testament to how much you love your father. And it's so admirable, because what you can do with a platform like what you have, where so many people love you and listen to you and look up to you, is raise awareness about a disease, like you said, that not many people are aware of. Because becoming your own advocate in the doctor's office is so important. And you can't do that if you're just simply uneducated about a disease that maybe doesn't have enough awareness around it. So the fact that you have dedicated so much of your life now to raising awareness and getting this message out to people and empowering them is so important. And I just want to say, everyone in the Yankees community is so proud of you, not only for what you did on the field, but what you've done off the field, and as a person, as a man, as a leader in such a community that needs more awareness. But I wanted to ask you specifically, you mentioned your dad taught you how to play guitar, and we've all been blessed by your guitar skills. And whenever you get to play the national anthem, it's so awesome. And I wanted to ask you specifically about the power of music, and how you had mentioned in the video how it can transform you in times of anxiety, stress, bring your family together. And I just wondered if you could speak a little on that.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I mean, that's what Tuning to Lung Health is about, and I learned, a long time ago. And my mom and my dad, my mom was an educator in Puerto Rico in the public education system, and it's funny because she never envisioned me and my brother to be, involved in, the creative side of, work, and she only had, sports and arts and music as a way of making us, well-rounded. Little that she knew, and they knew, that I was going to make baseball my livelihood, and then music, sort of a segue to that. But the power of music, like you say, is just such an important thing in many levels. I started playing guitar when I was 8 years old, and then I just kind of started making all these connections between life and growing up, and music, and everything, that came with that, learning an instrument, creating the discipline, the commitment, and just kind of dealing with adversity, and using all of that into my own upbringing, sort of gave me the idea and the conviction that, music and arts, are such an important part of our lives. And even as a baseball player, you talk about making the connection with the music and arts and baseball. Baseball is all about timing. Timing is all about hitting that ball, through the zone at the same place in the right time at the right place. And so is music. Play one note at the right time in the right place. You just pierce through your heart and your spirit like nothing else can do. So we're trying to utilize the power that brings us to help people with these diseases to, get through and cope with a lot of the ancillary things that happens, the depression, your anxiety, not only for the patients, but the caregivers as well. They need to be in a good mood and in a good positive, having a good positive attitude to take care of their patients. So that's what Tune Into Lung Health is all about. So we're really trying to get people to get to the website so they can get educated as far as what are they dealing with the disease, and also ways that they can use to cope with the all these things that happen, while you're dealing with your process.
Yeah, music is healing. Some people don't, they joke with when you say that, but it is healing. Damien, I'll toss it over to you, my guy. Go ahead, brother.
Bernie, first of all, thank you for coming on. I'm fanboying. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Listening to your story, condolences for your father. Listening to your story back in 2001, obviously it took a long time for you and the family to realize what he was going through, what the diagnosis was. So with modern medicine growing and constantly evolving as it does, what has changed from then until now to help the patients get to the help they need, where unfortunately your father, it took a long time for him to get that help that he needed?
Well, yeah, thank you for that. I think, initiatives like this one are very helpful, creating the awareness that people may need so they can make an educated decision. Unfortunately, I know that there's, I'm not in the medical field, I'm not an expert on the actual disease. And I can only tell you, from my experience as a caregiver, and I tell you, the people are working really hard to try to get, make advances, trying to figure out, what is, the best way to go about treating these diseases. And I think education is the key, trying to get to a point that, what it is that you're dealing with, and try to, come up with the best decision that you can with the information that you have, to this point. To try to get the best care to your patients and to your loved ones. I think that this is where we are right now. I think they're, the medical community, I'm sure that they're working, very hard to try to, come up with answers, for all these questions. For in the meantime, we just try to, do what we have, and try to, get these patients, most of the information and all the information that they need to make an educated decision and try to deal with their process and how to deal with this disease.
Yeah, and that's something, and Damien, thank you for bringing that up, that I wanted to ask you. And again, just want to respect your time. I know it's 11:19. Just let us know at any moment that you got to step out, Bernie. But I wanted to ask you, when you look at 2024 and compare it to 2001 or 2000, when your father was diagnosed, what's the difference that you see when it comes to early treatment or acute treatment at the beginning that you guys didn't have access to back then?
I think, just having the information at hand, the information that we didn't have at the time, has been really important. Having, the opportunity to know exactly what you're dealing with, and, make an educated decision on that. I mean, that's probably one of the things that we didn't have, in 2001 when my father got, we were, going from place to place and trying to get the right diagnosis. And it took us 5 years. So I think that process has been sort of reduced, where you can have one place, you can have all the information that you need. And I think that's, probably some of the biggest steps that we're taking now, trying to get people educated. I got to run, guys.
No, it's all good, Bernie. Okay. Listen, Bernie, thank you for taking time this morning. Thank you for sitting down and teaching people and letting people know about ILD. And for those that have been affected, or if you guys know people that are affected, please reach out to everyone else. Bernie, last words for the chat before you get out of here, because I know you got to go. You're a busy guy. I'm gonna be at the stadium tomorrow on Julio, so I'll see you tomorrow at the stadium. But last words, Bernie.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak about, my story, my dad, and raising awareness for this, interstitial lung disease. My love to all the Yankee fans. I'm going to be out there tomorrow playing the anthem and just kind of spending some time with you. One of the best decisions that I ever made was to remain a Yankee for the rest of my career. Has given me the opportunity to be part of this great family. So God bless all. And, let's go Yankees.
Let's go Yankees. Bernie, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Bernie, for taking time out this morning. like Damien said, I was fanboying the entire time. From once we got backstage. Carrie, I see you backstage. Thank you so much for setting this up. But yeah, this was an awesome conversation. Wish it
What an
was a
amazing
little bit
man.
longer, but I know Bernie, he's a busy guy. But what's your thoughts real quick before we get out of here? And let's talk about the Yankees. Let's highlight them from this weekend and let's wrap up. Let's rock out for about 15 more minutes.
Let's do it.
He's just an amazing man, all around. His smile, his personality, he's gracious, he's humble. I mean, what can you say about Bernie Williams? He's a legend for a reason. He's just an incredible guy. I'm so glad he had a few minutes to come on and speak about a subject that's so important. And like I was saying, what he's really trying to do is just raise awareness, get more eyes on this situation, because the more eyes on the situation, the more they push for a cure, the more they learn about how to treat it, the more they learn about how to quickly diagnose it. But all of that starts with more eyes, more awareness, more people asking their doctor, hey, could this possibly be interstitial lung disease? But we can't get there unless people talk about it. So it's so important what he's doing. He's an amazing guy and a great ball player too.
No, definitely. It's important because nowadays when you go to the medical office or when you go to the doctor's office, sometimes you get misdiagnosed. Some people that go to the doctor's office, they don't get diagnosed because doctors try to look at them differently and try to diagnose them with something that's totally different, right? So it is important that if you do get the symptoms, like Bernie said, at the beginning, recognize the symptoms, right? Notify your doctor, try to get on top of it early. And like I said at the beginning, when it comes to your health, don't take anything for granted. If you cough, right, and you're like, oh man, I got blood in my spit, just don't brush that to the side and be like, oh, I probably was brushing my teeth hard and that's why. No, go to the doctor, get yourself checked out, because you never know what could be lying underneath it, right? Damien, what's your thoughts?
In this country, there's so much. Doctors sometimes forget why they became doctors. It's to primarily help people. Then it became about the bag, right? So whenever anybody goes to the doctor, my mom went through something recently, and they told her one thing, and I said, Mom, no matter what, you always go get a second opinion, because it means the most to make sure that you got two opinions and they both match to make sure you're doing the correct thing. So my thing for everybody is go ahead out there. If you get one opinion, always get your second opinion, especially if it's a scary situation. Bernie Williams, one of the few players in this league that will go out of his way to sit down with somebody, even if it's for 10 minutes, and tell a story and not expect the bag at the end of it, right? So listen, shout out to Bernie. Thank you again for coming on. Extremely humble, one of the most humble people that you could possibly meet, and I thank him and I thank everybody on the panel for having him on. So thank you, Hector.
Genuine and authentic, right? Because this was an interview that we've rescheduled this interview a few times, right? This was the third time we had it scheduled. The first time it was because Bernie, he was running around, he was busy, right? So we had to reschedule. The second one, you guys know everything that happened with my father, so I had to reschedule with Bernie. So thank you to Bernie and his people. Like I said, Carrie behind the scenes putting everything together. They could have reached out to anybody else to do this. They could have reached out to John Boy. They could have reached out to any other big Yankee content creator that is out there, but they reached out to us and they liked the work that we did. And they like the work that we do so much that they wanted to reschedule with us a few other times. So thank you to them. Guys, like always, make sure you guys go and follow the Tune Into Lung Health Initiative. But let's talk about the Yankees, right? Because the Yankees, they swept the Oakland Athletics, and I'm excited, right? You know why I'm excited? I'm excited because tomorrow, not only will Bernie Williams be at Yankee Stadium doing the anthem, right, performing at the stadium, but I will be in the stadium as a member of the media covering the Yankees versus the Orioles. I was at Citi Field last night covering the Mets versus Phillies. That was exciting. I was able to joke around with David Cohn at the Mr. Softy ice cream machine that they have in the press box in the cafeteria. So I was able to joke with David Cohn last night. That was funny. But yeah, I'll look forward to being in the stadium tomorrow, and I'm praying that the Yankees win, because if the Yankees win, they clinch the AL East, and it's a party, and I'm going to be there. It's going to be a party inside my city, you know?
Let's go. Let's go.
Absolutely. And I am so happy that we're here, and I'm so happy that, you know, Damien, Hector, y'all are both smiling and happy, because these are my people. There have been people on Twitter. Now, see, this is how it always starts. There's been people on Twitter, but there's been people on Twitter in the Yankees discourse, if you will, complaining about how our boys were celebrating with champagne in the locker room when they clinched the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, get over it. Am I the
Yeah.
only one out here who's like, if you hate joy, just say that? Because
Yeah.
they have earned the right to celebrate this first step, okay? Yes, we want them to have more steps. Of course, they want to have more steps. We want to clinch the division. We want to win the division series. We want to win this championship series. We want to win the World Series. People are like, what are they going to celebrate 5 times? Yes. Yes. Does that bother you? Like, are you okay?
Not one bit.
It doesn't bother me at all whatsoever, right? And I get it. I grew up loving Kobe Bryant, right? And there's a quote from Kobe Bryant after playoff
exactly.
win. He was like, the job's not done, right? And people were taking that clip and like, see, Kobe would say that Kobe wouldn't be celebrating. He said the job's not done in the length of a series. The series wasn't over, right? If they would have won and went on to the next round, they don't do that in the NBA. So first of all, that's a non-existent conversation. They don't celebrate after each round in the NBA like they do in Major League Baseball. They don't even do that in the NFL, right? They only do that in Major League Baseball. It's a part of Major League Baseball tradition. So if you're hating on baseball players for doing that, you're just hating on MLB tradition. The only issue is that the playoff structure is expanded, right? We have a couple of extra wild card teams. The division is not as sacred as it once was before, because you got teams winning the wild card and winning the championship. I get it. This is just the old man sitting on his porch screaming at the young kids across the street having a good time. What's your thoughts, Dame?
There's no doubt about it. It's the grumpy ass old neighbor who said, "You like that wiffle ball? Stop hitting the wiffle ball with my car." So,
Not the wiffle ball.
so look, I had no problem with it. Listen, the captain said, "Go do it." He did it. He's the captain for a reason. He's the one who gave the go. If judge said no, then there'd be no celebrating. But listen, he's the captain for a reason. He's put the team on his back, and he has every right to say we're gonna party like it's 1999. Magic numbers 1, right? So one more game, and I want to go kind of back to the preseason when we listened to some of the the records that they were predicting, and they had the O's at 89 wins, and everybody was like, Orioles 89 wins? Are you crazy? This team is so well put together. They had at least 98, 99 wins. Listen, shout out to the preseason predictions because they were spot on. So they had the Yankees winning the division. They had the O's with 89 wins. Again, they were spot on. So shout out to them as well.
Yeah, no, that definitely. Listen, when it comes down to it, our friend Erica, who's not here, right, who's normally in the chat, but our friend Erica said it perfectly, and I'm gonna keep on repeating it, and I'm gonna always give Erica credit. In 162 games, it's given you're gonna lose 60, you're gonna win 60. It's what do you do with the next 42 games that determine if you go home in October or if you're playing for a championship. And that's simple. That's what it is. This season, it's been a roller coaster season for us Yankee fans. We've been up and down, up and down. The month of June came. We hate this person. We hate that person. Gleyber Torres is a 300 hitter over the past 2 months. That's crazy.
I knew y'all were coming for me.
No, you're not the only one, Grace. Not just you. Everybody was saying that Jazz Chisholm would be the worst pickup for the Yankees. He looks like the best pickup at the trade deadline. When it comes, no, definitely not us. When it comes to the bullpen, Clay Holmes is roller coaster up and down. Jekyll and Hyde acts out there. He's finally figured it out as a 7th inning guy. Luke Weaver has emerged as a closer. You know what's crazy is that if you were to look at the betting odds, do you know they give the Yankees have the favorite when it comes to odds to winning it all? on September 23rd, the Yankees
Oh, so
are
everything's the way it should be.
are the favorite when it comes to the betting odds to win it all. Where's Michael Caputo at? Somebody go find Michael Caputo for me.
Hector, you gotta do a collage of the entire season and just my takes, your takes, Grace's takes, anybody's takes from the open panel, the love, the joy, the hate, the anger, and it would be a comical reel, literally. So that's something that hopefully we can work on because I would love to see it. I know I'd definitely be a part of it. As far as the hate and the love, it'd be again roller coaster of emotions. That's what the Yankees, and that's just us passionate about our team. So listen, we're almost there. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there.
I think this video of Austin Wells, it correlates all of our emotions right now. I'm gonna play our friend Austin Wells.
Around the world, around the world, around the world, around the world, around the world. Let's go, 3, 2, 1, go!
And this is how I'm going to be dancing at Yankee Stadium if they clinch when I am there. And of course, when I play Austin Wells, my guy Future comes in the building and says, "My catcher, my go." This is the one thing I got. This is the one thing I got to say. My man Future, this young guy right here, he's been riding. Damien, you know, because you in that group using those group chats also. This man rides so hard for Austin Wells. Yes, Mr. Mustachio, El Bigote, Mustache Papi, a.k.a. Austin Wells, my man Future. He was the person riding hard for Austin Wells at the beginning of the season, at the middle of the season, and right now. So shout out to my guy Future for recognizing his favorite player, Austin Wells, and riding hard and not being one of those fans that'll just waver and just fall off of it. No, shout out to my guy Future, because everybody at the beginning of the season who were Verdugo fans disappeared. All the Doogie stands, all the rough Doogie stands, they all disappeared. But my guy and Austin Wells, my guy Future, he stood there. Grace, what's your thoughts on Austin Wells? Let's talk about this.
I love Austin Wells. You know, I told y'all from spring training, you know, I don't miss a game. I don't miss an inning, even spring training. And my poor husband, who I'm trying to convert to a Yankees fan, and I'm getting real close, y'all. I'm getting real close. He was watching with no dog in the hunt, as we say in the South. And he was like, that guy is the best guy. And he was talking about Austin Wells. And I really listen to him sometimes because he's not emotionally invested in the Yankees like we are. Like you said, Damien, super passionate, right? Yeah. He's got like an objective third-party perspective on the Yankees. And he was saying, that guy right there, he can hit. He can play. That guy right there. And he was talking about Austin Wells. And it's true. And, you know, there was a time when all of the projected projected hits from him were really high, but his luck was not falling. And people, like you mentioned in the chat, were riding for him, even though people were like, nah, he's not the starter. You got to bench him, play Trevi, la, la, la. Austin Wells has come back. I hope he wins Rookie of the Year. He is making a serious play for Rookie of the Year at this point. It's not just us talking like fan girls or boys. He's making a serious argument for himself to win Rookie of the Year. So, I mean, I really hope they consider him. I ride for Jason Dominguez. Like these people ride for Austin Wells. I ride for my boy, my Martian, Jason Dominguez. That's how I'm going to be.
Martian.
Shout
out to the Martian.
Y'all can call me Sierra when it comes to Jason Dominguez because I'm in full denial. I don't care. He drops a ball in left field. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He's about to hit a 2-run homer. You want that? You want a 2-run homer? Okay. Sit back, baby. Wait. He's coming up to the plate. That's me. I'm totally delusional for this kid.
I love him.
I love him so much.
I love it. Let's shout out the chat. I'll throw it over to Damien to get his take real quick. But shout out to Double A in the building who says the Martian has landed. Double A.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to talk Knicks basketball with my guy
Oh, it's
Theo
coming.
Double A. I can't wait. Sean Browning, who's in the building. Salute to you. Hector Cruz in the building. My guy Hectito Cruz is in the building. Salute. And like Alex says, have you guys hit that like button? We got over 60 people watching us collectively. If you guys can, smack the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. With the postseason coming up, right? We're going to have more Yankee conversations going on, more Yankee shows. If Grace and Damien is free to join, they can join, but I'm not putting no pressure on anyone. As the postseason comes, you'll see a lot more content coming out from Uptown Sports TV, especially when it comes to my access with the media. I'll be at a few postseason games as well at Yankee Stadium, so be on the lookout. Make sure you guys follow us on all social media platforms. Make sure you follow Damien on Twitter, Grace Monroe on Twitter as well. Myself, you can follow Project Nerd HQ, Yanks Morning Brew, Uptown Sports TV, but also make sure you guys go and check out LATINOsports.com. It helps us when it comes to growing the website, growing the brand, growing the company. I am the social media manager for Latino Sports. If you guys remember, I have a friend of mine's. You guys probably know her from the Yankee the Knicks space, right? But Mills Media, right? For those out there, Mills Media, she came on during Knicks Morning Brew to talk Knicks with us last season and stuff. But I want to take a second to shout out my friend Mills Media. Mills Media, they started interning with AM New York over the past couple of weeks. And while I was at the game yesterday, I saw Mills Media on the field. So it's good to see friends of mine who are content creators in the same realm move up, and we're all moving up at the same time, right? I always talk with people like in this content creative space, it's like comedians in the comedy club, right? A lot of comedians, they start out in the same comedy club, and 10 years down the line, they're writing movies together, TV shows together. And that's kind of how it is with different content creators. Working hard and as a content creator, you start off where you start off at, and then you elevate yourself to where you get at eventually, right? So the path is out there. You just got to go hard and never give up on your dream. Damien, go ahead, bro. My fault for being long-winded.
Oh no, yeah, brother, you're good, man. Say shout out to you. We talked a little bit earlier today, and then I'll say it again. I'm proud of you, my man. You keep doing what you're doing. Austin Wells, he's like future. You're sharing him, all right? He's my catcher too. He's everybody's catcher. Jason Dominguez, listen, he's making a statement the last couple of days, hitting the ball hard, running the bases, which he didn't do as much the first time he got called up. So he's stealing bases, creating runs. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Tats. Listen, what can we say? The Yankees are where they need to be right now. I said this the last podcast. The team is whole, completely whole. We have everybody where we need them to be. Clay Holmes is Clay Holmes, right? So thank God for Boone yesterday, pulled him after the 3-batter minimum. And, is he going to be involved in the playoffs? We'll see. We don't know. Obviously, there's an injury with Cousins. How severe is it? They don't say it's very severe. Can we take them for the word? We'll find out. But in the American League, I can say as long as the Yankees stay healthy from now throughout October, this team will be at the very end. They will make the World Series. I don't see any team that is as complete as the Yankees are from top to bottom, pitching the bullpen as the New York Yankees. The only thing that can get in the way is themselves. So let's get it. Let's get the number 28, man. Let's go.
I want to shout out my guy Manny Morales, who is in the building. This is my guy Manny. I worked EMS with Manny. Me and Manny, we known each other for years. We were both 911 supervisors out of Bronx Lebanon Hospital, Bronx Special Care. Man, we used to steal cookies from nursing homes. Me and Manny, when we worked together, because we used to love chocolate chip cookies out of Riverdale Nursing Home. So shout out to my guy Manny. We used to steal chocolate chip cookies together. That's my guy. I love him. But shout out to the chat as well. I want to shout out my guy Jay Boogie, who is in the building. Jay Boogie says yes. And I'm not talking about the channel the Yankees play on. The General is back. Shout out to the show and the panel. Blessings, health, happiness to you all. Jay Boogie. I miss you, Unc.
Appreciate you.
I can never do Jay Boogie's voice the way Jay Boogie does it. He's a very unique guy. That's my guy, Jay Boogie. And again, like I said, I can't wait to talk Knicks basketball with Double A, with Jay Boogie, with everybody else that joins us in that conversation. But we're about to wrap things up right now. The Yankees, they got an off day today. right? The Yankees are off. No Yankee game today. They come back tomorrow against the Baltimore Orioles. Grace, I want to ask you. Yeah, Manny, remember the chocolate chip cookies. He says facts. Grace, I want to ask you.
Now, y'all ain't had no chocolate chip cookies till you had some Southern Girl chocolate chip cookies. Okay, I can tell you for a fact right now. All y'all need some Grace Monroe chocolate chip cookies. And let me tell you, there is a secret ingredient. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's a secret.
I'm gonna need you to overnight FedEx me some cookies.
You got it.
Damien, we're gonna need that, Grace.
You got it.
Grace, with the 6 games the Yankees have left, 1 game in order to clinch the division. How do you want the Yankees to play out these next 6 games? We got 3 against the Baltimore Orioles. We got 3 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. What do you want the squad to do against in this next 6 games?
You know, I'd love for them to win and clinch against the Orioles. I think we can all agree that celebrating in front of those baby birds in the Bronx is what we all want. Now, the question is, which game do we want it to be? Now, what you got to consider here is momentum, okay? Energy, momentum, mentality, et cetera, et cetera. So there's an argument to be made. Let's win the first game and come out, win it, clinch it, let's go. But then how's that going to affect the second and third game of this series? Are they going to, relax too much and then the Orioles start building momentum by beating the Yankees? This is just possibilities. How's that going to affect everything? Okay, so maybe we want to win the middle game. Okay, maybe we want to win the third game. I'm not really sure. There's an argument you can make for any of these games, but I want to clinch it against the Orioles in the Boogie Down. That's what I want. I'm thinking maybe... Ooh, I don't know. See, do you see what I'm saying? If they clinch on the first day, how's that going to affect the rest of the series?
Well, let's also remember there's 2 magic numbers. You got magic number one. That's to clinch the division. Okay. Then you got magic number 3. That's to have the best record in the AL. Home field advantage throughout. So the Yankees, they cannot take the foot off the pedal. There's no doubt. You handle business against Baltimore, and you got to go out and get that magic number 3 because that's home field throughout the entire playoffs. So work is not done. It's not done whatsoever.
Cook, Damien.
Cook. No, I'm agreeing with you, Damien. But besides the numbers that are being clinched, right? There's another number that I'm looking at, and that number is 20. Is Mr. Giancarlo Stanton. I want Stanton to hit 30 home runs. I want Giancarlo Stanton to get. I'm trying to find his numbers right now just so I could.
26. Is he on 20? 26.
He's at 26. I know it may be impossible for Giancarlo Stanton.
Not for Big G.
I would love for over these next 6 games, Giancarlo Stanton to crack out 4 home runs. We saw Alex Rodriguez in 2009. That last game of the season, he was at 28 home runs. He needed 8 RBIs. And what did he do? He got to 30 home runs and he got to 100 RBIs on the dot. And you know what's funny? There was an interview, and I'm taking bits of these interviews to put them out to repurpose them. But it was an interview that Melky Cabrera did at the beginning of the season. I advise you guys to go and watch it. It was on a Dominican podcast. They have the English translation, so you may lose some stuff in the translation. But Melky said that game coming into the Alex Rodriguez told him and Robinson Cano, I'm gonna hit 3 home runs. I'm gonna get to 100 RBIs. He told them before that game, and Melky said Alex Rodriguez is the only player that he's ever played with that he came into the ballpark and said, I'm gonna hit 2 home runs. I'm gonna hit a home run. He said that's the only player he ever played with that actually did that. So if A-Rod could do it, you know what I mean?
Listen, Big G has been nuclear before, and he's been proving that he can do it. So, Big G, go get it, brother. You got it.
Yeah. I just looked it up because Juan Soto hit his 30th home run. Obviously, Judge has 55. So I thought, has there ever been a Yankees team with 3 players to have 30 or more home runs? Because they mentioned there's only been one other combination.
No Yankee team,
It says 1961. Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, and Elston Howard had 30, but it's only happened one time, 1961, when the home run record, when the race was happening. So that would be incredible. That would be huge,
Yeah.
right? I mean, Juan Soto hit his 30th home run. I mean, amazing. Judge is a freak. We all know this. We need Giancarlo Stanton to join this party. He deserves to be in that conversation.
No, he does.
He absolutely does.
Yeah.
I hope he can
He
do it.
does.
That would be awesome.
You saw what the offense was with Giancarlo Stanton out of the lineup. Granted, we didn't have a
Absolutely.
cleanup hitter, but you saw what it was without Giancarlo Stanton. As soon as Austin Wells was inserted into the cleanup spot, as soon as Giancarlo Stanton came back, this offense turned it around. Our season got turned around immediately. Yes, our bullpen started to get flaky. Our starting pitching started to get up and down and FC and stuff like that, if you want to say. But our offense, ever since Giancarlo Stanton came back and Austin Wells was the cleanup hitter, totally different offense. Totally different. Totally different. It's totally. Hold on 1 second, because I see my guy Pizza in the building. Pizza said there's also the chase to have the best record. That's what Damien said. The better record than the NL team. That might matter also. Now that Pizza brought up the National League, right? I wanted to pivot a conversation just for a little bit, because outside of the Yankees, we talk Major League Baseball, and something historic did happen in Major League Baseball over the weekend. Shohei Ohtani, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. He had a great game, 6 hits, multi-home run game, multi-stolen bases. He is a freak of nature. He's a DH ultimately. We do understand that. Is he the National League MVP?
Hands down.
Oh my gosh.
Hands down.
Yes.
Hands down.
But let me say one thing. Aaron Judge is still on top.
Oh, he's still king.
In OPS. He's still on top in RBIs. He's still on top. I mean, come on. Give the king his crown. Aaron Judge is the AL MVP. He's the MVP of the whole damn thing. In my opinion, yes, Shohei Ohtani, amazing. He will, I can't say he will never, because obviously can't predict the future, but I'll be totally shocked if he would ever have another season like this, because of the fact that he's not pitching.
Yeah.
So what he's done is incredible, and we've all been here to witness it. But let's call a spade a spade. Aaron Judge is still out hitting this man, and he's playing outfield.
Yeah. No. I'm 100% in agreement with you, Grace. And this is why I think Major League Baseball, and this is a conversation I have with Dexter Henry, Major League Baseball needs to implement a third award, another award. They need to add a new award for the best overall offensive player in the league. We have a Cy Young award for the best pitcher in the league, right? To me, MVP means most valuable player. You take Shohei Ohtani away from the Dodgers, they have 2 former MVPs in Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. You take Francisco Lindor away from the Mets, I'm sorry. They're battling the White Sox for the worst record in baseball. Francisco Lindor means more to the Mets than Shohei Ohtani means to the Dodgers. Am I saying Ohtani is not having a historic season, an all-time season? Absolutely not. He is killing it over there. But when you look at the fact that he's a DH, right? Francisco Lindor, the best defender at his position. That's one. He adds the stolen base component on top of it. He has over 30. He's a shortstop that has 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases. This is the first shortstop in history that's been able to do that in 3 seasons, to have 25 home runs and 25 stolen bases. If people want to praise Ohtani for setting a historic precedent or historic record, where's the praise for Lindor? He literally set a record, being the only shortstop in Major League history to have 3 seasons of his career, 25 home runs and 25 stolen bases. No other shortstop has ever done that. On top of playing Gold Glove defense, on top of being able to play phenomenal, having baseball IQ when he's on the base pad, being a leader in that clubhouse. So I'm sorry, right? I know other people are saying the gambling thing may stain Ohtani. I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I care about what.
Uh-oh.
Did he freeze? Oh, okay. That's
I
not
think he's frozen. I think the problem here is the MVP is not really the most valuable player anymore. It's kind of like what Hector's saying. They need to rename the award for like standout, American League standout, or National League standout. and still have a most valuable player to that team, the value that they bring to that team. Because truly, that's not how they pick MVP anymore. They just pick the best offensive player, I mean, honestly, or the best player overall in their opinion with the best stats, and they win MVP. So I see what you're saying, Hector. They need to rename the award. It needs to be like standout and MVP, and then truly give it
just
to a
add the extra one. Yeah, add the extra
add the
award
extra,
for both leagues.
Right, add the extra award. Great job. This year's standout is Shohei Ohtani. He did something crazy. He broke a record. He did blah, blah, blah. But the most valuable player to his franchise, Francisco Lindor. I mean, I do see the argument that you're making there, and it's not wrong.
Yeah. And
no,
like
you're
Hector said,
spot on.
And like Hector Cruz said, at the beginning of the season, Met fans were threatening Lindor's family.
Yeah. I was just about to say that.
His wife. They were going after his wife on social media.
Yeah.
And with all that, he was able to bounce back and carry them to the position they're in right now. Go ahead, Damien.
I was going to say the same thing. Not only is Lindor having the best season that he's had in his Mets career, but let's be honest. The first few years of this contract has been shaky for Lindor. The fans have gotten on him. They all feel like he hasn't earned the money. And the dude has come through. He's the team leader. The team is where it's at now because of Lindor. There's no Lindor. There's no Mets fighting for their playoff lives, getting into the playoffs. So he deserves all the credit. And, thinking more on it, listen, you're right. When it comes to most valuable player of your team, it's Lindor. Because like you said, when you have a catcher like Will Smith in the Dodgers, when you have Freddie Freeman's, the Mookie Betts, the pitching staffs that they had, the money that they throw, not that Cohen hasn't, but when Cohen did, he just didn't put it in the right places. The fact is Lindor has been that dude for the New York Mets, and without Lindor, they don't have a playoff chance.
Yeah, no, 100%, right? Because for everything that you just laid out, right? And again, not to take away anything from Shohei Ohtani. We're not as well. Ohtani is phenomenal. But this is the thing. The argument, David Ortiz, probably the greatest DH of all time, never won an MVP. Why? Because he was a DH. I get Shohei Ohtani stole 50 bags, but David Ortiz, look at his numbers. Look at the runs that he created. Look at his OPS. In the middle of the 2000s, Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz is the greatest 1-2 combination of all time. And that's for multiple seasons, not just for one season. Because yes, the Yankees, we got Maris and we got Mantle. Great. That's for 1 year. David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez were for multiple seasons.
And the only difference is that MLB made one the Golden Boy and Shohei, and they didn't make the others the Golden Boys. So let's call a spade a spade. Every moment you see baseball, they're praising Shohei. Every baseball commercial is Shohei. They're shoveling him down our faces. So people are obviously going to tune in. He is the Golden Boy of MLB. The gambling scandal. No way, no how would they go allow Shohei Ohtani to go down for that. Okay, Ipe will be well taken care of when he gets out of federal prison. Well taken care of.
He's at Camp Fed. Allegedly.
Absolutely. Allegedly. He's with all the mobsters eating filet mignon and wine. Okay, we'll Paulie the mob boss and Goodfellas.
Yeah.
So all right, so he's well taken care of. But again, not taking anything away from Shohei. What he's done is absolutely it's bonkers. It's amazing. To be a 50-50 guy and obviously tack on to that, and then come into the playoffs. They're saying that he's probably going to pitch. So we'll see the other side of Shohei when he starts to pitch as well. But again, nobody can take anything away from Lindor. He's had an absolutely crazy season, and if the writers were to not be so heavy on the Shohei tip, then he probably would win the MVP. Unfortunately, that's never going to happen.
I'm gonna just read 3 years in a row. This is David Ortiz from 2004 to 2004, 2005, 2006. All right. 2004, his breakout season with the Red Sox. Well, not really a breakout season, but you know what I mean. A 301 batting average, right? 41 home runs, 139 RBIs, 75 walks with a 380 on base percentage, 603 slugging. He finished the year a 983 OPS. 2005, 300 batting average, 148 RBIs, led the American and National League. and RBIs, 47 home runs, 102 walks, a 397 on base percentage, 601 slugging with a 1.001 OPS. David Ortiz, he has 3 years in a row, 2005, 2006, 2007, with an OPS over 1,000.
That's crazy.
2006, he hit 287, 37 home run. 137 RBIs with 54 home runs. The next year, a 332 batting average, 35 home runs with 117 runs batted in. But also that year, he had a 445 on base percentage because teams weren't pitching to David Ortiz.
Bro, you just gave me PTSD because all those years he was a Yankee killer. He
I'm
was
sorry.
a Yankee killer the whole.
I'm sorry.
Every year he killed us.
A 300 plus batting average, averaging a minimum 40 home runs, minimum 130 RBIs, having 3 years in a row with an OPS over 1,000. I'm sorry. Shohei Ohtani is legendary. It's great. But if the argument against David Ortiz was that he's a DH, he doesn't play a defensive position, he cannot win a Gold Glove. He cannot win an MVP. They were never saying that, oh, he's a DH, he can never win because he doesn't steal bases. No, they were saying he can never win because he doesn't play a defensive position.
Exactly.
And you have Francisco Lindor, who not only doesn't play, he plays a defensive position. He is the best fielder at his position and maybe in the National League. He may be the Platinum Glove winner in the National League on top of it. So the argument against David Ortiz was he's a DH, he plays no defense, but Shohei Ohtani gets away with it because he steals a few bags. He steals 50 bags.
Yep.
And the caveat that gets left out, and I'll toss it over to Damien and Grace, is that he stole 50 bags after they made the bags bigger. Yeah. He didn't steal 50 bags 3 or 4 years ago.
No.
He stole 50 bags when they made them bigger. It's the year after Acuna stole over 70 bags.
40-70 season. Crazy. There's two players in Yankee Red Sox lore that fan base will always respect and pays homage to. On the Boston side, it's the Jeter, right? You know, everybody in Boston always pays homage, always shows respect to Jeter. On the Yankee side, it is David Ortiz. Yeah. You won't catch many Yankee fans talking down about David Ortiz. He always gets paid homage to, always earns his respect. His flowers are always given. Two players that obviously always back and forth with Yankee and Boston lore. He absolutely deserved it. Why he never got it blows my mind. The numbers were there. Hall of Famer by far. And again, simple fact, Shohei is a cash cow for the MLB. Bottom line. It's their bottom line is Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, yeah.
He's a cash cow. Marketing, endorsements, you name it, that's their golden boy. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they promote the guy the way they do. And, you know, again, he's an amazing player. Listen, generational when it comes to somebody that pitches at the level he does, hits at the level he does, but MVP. Shohei won an MVP with Anaheim, I believe, right? That team was terrible.
Yeah.
Why would somebody why would a team like that, why would they have somebody as a most valuable player? Meanwhile, that team has done nothing. They never won, they didn't win a playoff game. When you have the two best players in the league at the time is Shohei and Trout, and they won nothing, but yet he won an MVP. So same thing with Trout. He won the MVP, and it's all based on numbers. So that whole MVP to me is watered down because it's not true to what it means. Most valuable player should mean your team goes to the playoffs. Your team has a winning record, so on and so forth. And that just hasn't held throughout the years. So Judge did it. You know, he won 62. He got his flowers. They went into the playoffs. He was a playoff team. MVPs should be a standard. If you're an MVP, your team is in the playoffs. And hasn't been the case. So
my guy Ferris on Twitter, shout out to my guy Ferris from Big League Views. He works for Latino Sports. He just put on the Instagram chat, David Ortiz was an alien. People quickly forget that. Exactly. David Ortiz was the Martian before Jason Dominguez. Go ahead, Grace.
He does give me PTSD for real. I remember facing Yordan Alvarez in the postseason and how he gives me mini PTSD compared to what David Ortiz used to give me. He used to come up to the plate and I was shaking. just traumatized. But yeah, I want to say that when it was Shohei versus Judge in 2022, and Judge broke the home run record, Damien, like you said, 62 home runs, and he was playing the outfield and a part-time DH, and Shohei was pitching part-time DH, or pitching DH, and killed it. And the argument was that Aaron Judge might not win MVP because Shohei was pitching and doing what he did at the plate.
Yeah.
And we were all sitting there saying, what are you talking about? Aaron Judge is putting together a season like we haven't seen in 60 years, literally. And you're still trying to give Shohei the award. But the argument they were using for Shohei was, oh, his defense, he deserves it. His defense, his pitching. Well, now the pitching's gone, and you're still arguing to give Shohei the award. So just say you want to give it to Shohei then. Stop fronting that it's, because of his defense or whatever, because this man is not even playing defense this year, and you're still going to give it to him. So just call it the Shohei Ohtani Award then. Just call it what it is. Just say you need the money. Just say you need Shohei's fame and his money, okay? Because I smell a rat.
That's our segment called Grace on Fire. For those of you guys that didn't know, that's a new segment over here. But no, I gotta agree with you, Grace. Last thing before we head out of here, going into this postseason, this is a unique situation that Aaron Judge is going to be in, right? Not only does Aaron Judge, for the first time in his Yankee career, have someone in Juan Soto he can go to war with, but also going into the postseason, Aaron Judge is not going to be the focus point in the postseason. It's going to be Shohei Ohtani. It's going to be Ohtani's first time in the postseason. So all the lights, all the eyes, it's not going to be on Aaron Judge like it was a couple of years ago when he hit 62 home runs.
Great
and
point.
The Yankees weren't in the play, didn't do much in the postseason, right? It's not going to be years past when him and Giancarlo Stanton got into the postseason for the first time and Aaron Judge didn't show up. This is a different year. Now he has Juan Soto. Now you have Shohei Ohtani in the postseason for the first time. So all the eyes and all the media heads, everything is going to be focused on Mr. Shohei Ohtani and what he does in the postseason for the first time. And like I said last week, right, on the last episode that we did, now you see Aaron Judge and Juan Soto getting on fire right now. This is the perfect time for them to get on fire, right? Not 2 weeks ago when they were both cold. No. Right now, the week going into the postseason is the perfect time for Aaron Judge and Juan Soto to catch fire and to make a long run into the postseason. But Damien, Grace, this was a great episode. Shout out to Bernie Williams. Shout out to the people from Tune Into Lung Health. That was a great conversation. Little kid inside me is losing his mind because we were able to talk to Bernie Williams. Damien, we did that.
Absolutely.
Grace, we did that, Grace. We did that, Grace.
Y'all, I'm just sitting here making my dreams come true, sitting in my house in Texas, talking to, 5-time World Series champions and just hanging out with all my Yankees friends. Like, I'm so thankful for the internet, y'all. Like, this is amazing. I love my Yankees family. And wait, four-time.
Bernie's
Four-time. Thank you. 4-time. Still, 1, 2, 3, motherfucking 4. Okay, so yeah, just sitting here making my dreams come true from Texas, y'all. Couldn't be happier.
Damien, last words, brother.
Yeah, came from the boogie down. Grew up in the Yankee Stadium with my uncle being an electrician. Get to see one of the greats, interview one of the greats. And listen, man, dream come true. That's all we could ask for. It's the small things in life, and these are one of the small things, right? So, Hector, Grace, great show. And listen, tomorrow, right? We on tomorrow?
Yeah, we on tomorrow. We back tomorrow with it. We back tomorrow with it, guys. Make sure you guys tune in. Same time, same place over here at Uptown Sports TV.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, click the link in the bio. Jump on over to YouTube. Give us a subscribe. Help us out on YouTube. We're going through a rebrand at the moment, but we appreciate all of you guys who were in the building today. Sean Browning, Double A, Mikey P, Cheesy Soul Cakes, who was in the building. This is my guy, Cheesy Soul Cakes. He is a diehard Met fan, but he always shows up and he always shows us love over here. And also follow him on Instagram. He does cook a lot of stuff and amazing stuff on Instagram. He is a foodie. Make sure you guys go follow Cheesy Soul Cakes. I'm gonna need some cheesecake from Cheesy Soul Cakes. and I'm gonna need some chocolate chip cookies from Grace. That's what I'm gonna need. That's on my
Period.
bucket list. Hector Cruz, who is in the building, Patrick Sinclair, who is in the building, our guy Future, of course, Manny Morales, Stephen B was in the building, Richie Rivera from Empire State of Baseball as well. Appreciate all of you guys. Love all you guys. My guy Future, love you, brother. But until next time, I'm Hector.
I'm D.
I'm Grace Monroe.
Yes, and we got
Let's
that
go.
a little bit better. Yes,
A little
it's gonna be
smoother.
better. It's gonna be better after we keep on going. But until next time, this is Yankees Morning Brew, and like always, deuces.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.